Hey,
Hey, Daryl. How's it going, buddy?
hi. I didn't say your name. That's embarrassing. I should have probably said that.
Oh, that's fine. Try that again.
Hey, Renee.
Hey,
Oh, that
Daryl.
was I cracked. I'm like, it's like I'm going through puberty. I'll have to check with the manager on that one. All right, here we go. For real this time. Hey, Renee.
Hey, Daryl. How's it going, buddy?
I'm good. That's probably the most excited I'll ever sound.
No kidding. I like it. No, I think you should practice doing that more. I like the excited Daryl.
I look in the mirror and I'll try to be the excited Daryl, and he looks like a psychopath.
Hey, welcome to our podcast, man. This is actually happening. This is a long time coming for us.
It is. I can't believe your wife suggested we do a podcast. Mind you, I think she thought it was just going to be us joking around.
Totally.
Um, Nothing business related, but nonetheless, it was her idea.
She actually pitched it to us saying, two goons just talking about shit and being funny about it. So I don't really think she anticipated any content, but we're bringing some real value to the table here, but on a very lighthearted note.
Fooled her.
Who would have thought, though, going back like when we were just two numbnuts, ninth graders,
Yeah.
wailing in the basement on our guitars, thinking we actually knew what the hell we were doing. That one day, of course, this was pre-internet, pre-cell phones.
Well, only Zach Morris had he had the cell phone, the big one.
He was
Remember the
very
big
entitled,
giant?
though. Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
that one day we would be sitting face to face, but virtually in
Yep.
different cities and recording this together. This is amazing. Anyway,
I
so let's
know.
talk about our podcast and why we decided to take on this venture.
Well, you know what? Our podcast, let's talk about the title, because I think that's part of the podcast, right?
Yeah, I love the title. This was a product of numero uno, Daryl Boulay.
Yeah, I came up with it just like minutes before we started recording.
No, that's not true, but I think you deserve to unveil it. Go ahead.
This is Taming the Hustle, or something of the sorts. You know what? I'm not sexy. I don't have that sexy. Yeah, you try it. You try it.
Oh, well, my wife said she married me because of my sexy voice. So let's try it.
Oh, well, bring it on, Barry.
Barry White. Taming the Hustle, or something of the sorts.
That's pretty good. That's not bad.
I don't know. I think we're better
So,
together, bud. You go
I
ahead.
think so. I think so.
You
You
take the
want me to do
first
the
part.
first part?
I'll take the
Okay.
second part,
Okay. This is Taming the Hustle.
or something of the sorts. See, that's why we're a great fucking team.
That's not bad, hey? And we got a song too. I got us a song.
I love this tune, dude.
You do.
I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, me neither. It's a band called OK Otter, and they rock. And their video for this song is pretty funny too, but it's gonna be our song. So if you don't love it,
No, they're gonna love it.
they're
But
gonna
this is
love
gonna
it.
be
They're
our
gonna
song,
love
and
it.
I'm gonna be like, so let's hear it.
Yeah. So you're gonna love it. It's that simple.
Let's hear it.
Here it is.
Everybody wants a piece of me. I am a lonesome man making history. They say we're all just raindrops in a stream.
I love it. Now let's talk about why we actually started this podcast. Like we have a real purpose, and
Oh, for sure.
we've really segmented it into three different pieces.
I can only think of three things.
You little squirrely. So Daryl, you're a marketing guru in my opinion, and
Marketing guru.
so one of those segments is going to be about marketing. And tell us a little bit about what we're trying to accomplish here.
Well, we had this conversation many times about how you and I can bring our expertise to help people. And you have your firm, which is financial planning and everything related and surrounding that in a holistic way, which I think is fucking awesome. And our agency is a marketing and advertising agency where we work with everybody from the mom and pop shop next door right to big corporations, whether it's big banks or car companies or whoever and everyone in between. And I think the purpose of our podcast when we first started to talk about it was to help people. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but if you came to our podcast thinking this is a TED Talk, you are so wrong. You're going to get some information. You're going to learn some shit. You're going to figure out what to do on my end of things for marketing and advertising and everything else to do with business. But you're going to learn stuff that you need to do, whether it's on your own, whether it's coming to an agency like ours, or as simple as hiring a different agency. You're going to learn all this shit because we're going to talk about everything from ethical marketing to missing mistakes, effective brainstorming, how to create an ad, even how to start a business, for God's sakes.
When we concoction this, Daryl, just to add to that, is that we wanted to get people thinking about things they may not be thinking about.
Exactly.
Right. So, what I admire most about you and your business
My looks.
is not only are you passionate about it, but you're not afraid to think outside the box. And that's sort of why we put this podcast together. We wanted to have a lighthearted conversation.
Yep.
So we're going to be throwing some F bombs.
Yes.
We're going to be laughing a lot and probably acting goofy, and that's fine. And I don't think that's much of a reflection of our professionalism or lack of. We wanted to have your attention at a very high level on topics that matter so that you can go back to your marketing team, to your certified financial planner,
Yep.
or look to find better advice, to ask the right questions when it's pertinent to your situation. And we're going to have fun doing it. So I have the very same purpose. And my goal for this podcast is exactly the same as yours. We just want to get the wheels turning.
Yep.
We want to have these outside the box conversations. We want to laugh at serious topics, but we want to educate you at the same time.
For sure. And I think the great part about what we're trying to do is that we're in a situation now in our life where everything that we see online or in an app is all about do it yourself.
No kidding.
I know in the marketing and advertising world, business owners go on Instagram, they see that deal for $47. It's a full marketing plan and it's going to take you from 2 followers to 200,000 followers.
Oh, yeah. Like that makes any sense at all.
It's no different than those financial planning apps that say, you could build your retirement plan with an app. It's just not actually feasible. It's not going to help anybody.
No,
And I think
algorithms don't have any emotions, right? So there's an
no.
emotional and a human piece to financial planning and definitely with the marketing and advertising side of things.
I got to disagree a little bit what you said about algorithms don't have feelings because I feel the algorithm on Pornhub knows exactly how I'm feeling. And you know what? I don't want to just we talked about the power of three. I keep hearing that lately. Because of our 3 segments, we're going to do the marketing and advertising. We are going to do the financial planning.
And that's what you and I are really good at, right? We
Oh,
live, eat,
exactly.
and breathe what we
Yep,
do. And we
exactly.
can't say we're the best because there's always going to be someone better. But you know what? We genuinely give a fuck. We care about the people we
Yep.
work with, and we care to make an impact on the lives of the people we work with. And those first 2 pieces are really a reflection of what you and I do and who you and I
Exactly.
are.
Exactly. And I think we're going to take that into our third element of this podcast, which I think people are going to really love.
This is the non-expert piece of our podcast.
This is non-expert at all. We're going to talk about stuff like exercising, comfort food, how to live clutter-free, sleep health. I want to talk about sleep health. I don't sleep well. But again, coming back to that, we're not doctors. We're just going to tell you what kind of works for us
Yeah, for sure.
or what doesn't.
Through our own experience. Like,
And
does a penis enlarger work? And which ones to
well,
use?
yeah, or why I can't be in public.
Oh, fuck, that's a real problem. I was trying to
That
be
is
funny with my fucking penis enlarger, but your peeing in public problem is serious. We
that
have to
hits
bring that to the table soon enough.
that hits hard. Oh, that hits hard with that subject. I am touchy on it, and
So am I.
it's a. So, I think you just get lonely at the urinal by yourself.
But in all seriousness, we are going to talk about that, by the way. Well, speaking of learning something, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Daryl Boulay.
Daryl Boulay. I never liked my name. You know, I was named after Daryl Sittler, the hockey player.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a Leafs fan.
No, I know you're not.
Yeah. You know what? A little Coles Note version of me. I grew up in Northern Ontario just like you did. Played hockey, chased girls. My dad worked in the mine. My mom, she worked at the pharmacy and clothing stores. But I eventually left the North, went to film school. You know, no one really cares about that, I don't think. But at the same time, I got to do some cool shit like work on a Steven Spielberg movie. I worked with Drake on Degrassi. I got to write some cool TV shows and movies.
You're being
Uh,
modest. You've done some really cool stuff in your day.
it's okay. But you know what? I even got to work in hockey, which was a dream. Whether it was film and TV or hockey, that kind of molded me into who I am today. Our agency was built around those principles of film, television, and hockey. Whether it's the team element from hockey and the strategic part of it, or it's the creative part from film and TV and taking that cinematic value to make something great. And I think I've worked so hard to put this together for our team so that they could build off of it. And I think we did that, and we've kind of made this agency together that it went from helping the mom and pop shops early on to big corporations, and we deal with everyone in between. So
You've done a great job at meshing those values together for sure.
thanks. Yeah, that's the Coles Notes version of me. That's it. It's a buy it at your local bookstore today.
Yeah, it's in the kids section. It's all pictures.
Okay, now, hey, it is in all fairness, they've learned about me. Let's talk about you. I feel like Dr. Phil.
Oh my God, you're giving me the floor?
Renee, tell me about your problems.
Yeah. I got 99 problems, but my plan ain't one.
Tell me about yourself.
No, you know what? Well, of course, we've been friends forever and ever. I mean,
I know.
we met at the gym, and we were probably, well, in very, very early years of 11, 12 years old.
Yeah,
Grew up in the same community. Come from a family of 5. I'm very close with my family. And, yeah, so we got to hang out at the gym and goof off, and, we instantly connected, and, by 16 years old, I was competing in bodybuilding, so I got, pretty serious about my regimen and my
yeah,
meal planning and that, and the reason I mention that is I think that that really molded who I am in terms of my work ethics and my values. My father was a very hardworking man, and,
for sure.
getting into training. I mean, I've got my first membership when I was 12, dude, and I've never let
That's
it go, and
crazy.
I'm nearly 45 years old. And then growing up, I sort of fell into this business of, financial planning, in 1999, so it's the rest is history. It's all I know now. And
For
then I
sure.
pieced off in 2004 as an independent broker. So it gave us a new world of opportunities on how we can really service our clients. So it went from more of a sort of sales oriented journey to more of a service oriented service.
Holistic.
Uh,
That's my favorite part about you.
yeah, and you know what? We'll talk about holistic financial planning in another podcast, but there is no other way to describe it. And we
Yeah,
do take very good care of our clients, and we'll piece that off into different topics as we proceed. But yeah, so we do business in most of Canadian provinces. I've got a very beautiful and supportive spouse,
oh,
and
man, wait a second. You're gonna talk that you have a beautiful wife? I didn't mention my wife or kids? Come on. Fuck.
you know
I
why
got a
though?
wife and
I'm
kids. I
gonna
got a
back
wife. They're beautiful.
I'm
They're
gonna back
beautiful.
I'm gonna back you on this one though, that you are so close with your family that when you
Very
say
close.
when you say me or us, that really
It's
is
them.
it's
Yeah.
them, right? So yeah, so you do have 2 beautiful children, and so do I. Mine are all grown up now. They're young adults and doing their own thing. So
Yeah.
it's crazy how
Sorry,
life
I
passes, and it's really exciting to be here.
for sure. Sorry. I know you get mad when I interrupt you and talk about myself, but I just had to say that because I feel like they're gonna listen to the first podcast and be like, Renee mentioned his family.
Yeah. You do interrupt and you do talk a lot.
I do.
We're gonna learn that Daryl is the talker here, but you know what? In all honesty, he's the most charismatic one of the two anyway, so he probably deserves more floor space or mic space than me anyway. So
Or I just like to hear myself, or maybe I really like editing.
oh
Maybe
fuck.
that's what it
No,
is.
you truly love the sound of your own voice. I'm convinced of it.
Oh, we'll learn about that.
All right, buddy.
Hey, this is Taming the Hustle.
Or something of the sorts.
This is our podcast.
Let's do it, man.
Well, this is the end of the podcast, and we're gonna have more. So it's awkward to say this because you're already listening to us on a streaming platform, but you can find us on any of your favorite streaming platforms. Just search Taming the Hustle.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we're not seeing them. This is a fucking podcast. They
Oh,
can't see
fuck.
you.
What am I supposed to say?
You're just going to say tune in next week or, push play next week, download us next week.
Tune in next week. Chime in. Tune in. Whatever.
Oh, man, you're like a fucking pro now. Wait till next episode. You're just going to be like dropping these like nothing.
I've got a good teacher.
I don't know about that. We'll see you next week.